Merrimack TV content may no longer be available on YouTube. To continue watching our programs, please download the Merrimack TV app from your device's app store. Programs may also be available at merrimacktv.com.
I guess you're right.
It's 6:30 and in Eric's absence, I'll call this meeting of the Conservation Commission to order. We have no public hearings scheduled. New business, creation of a subcommittee to address invasive species.
We can move that to the end of the list.
Okay. Thank you. Next, John O'Neill and Tinker Road LLC, applicant owner, review for recommendations to the planning board regarding a 23-lot subdivision. The parcel is located at 19 Tinker Road in the R4 and Aquifer Conservation Districts, Tax Map 2C, Lot 19 and 19-1, and Tax Map 2B, Lot 293-14-2. If you could identify yourselves for the record, we'd love to get started.
Yes, thank you. Paige Libby with Jones & Beach Engineers, and here with me tonight also is John O'Neill with Tinker Road LLC, and John Mangano also with Tinker Road LLC is with us as well. So again, this is 19 Tinker Road. It is in the R4 zone, which is the smallest density by soil type, as well as the Aquifer Protection District. The property is about 23 acres. I'm just going to flip back here to sheet C1 so you can see the existing conditions plan overall, and then the next sheet will be kind of a zoomed-in version of what we're proposing. So the existing use is a existing single-family home which has a farmhouse on the property, and then there's quite a large field in the front of the property as you're facing the house to the right-hand side, but the remainder of the property is mostly undeveloped and wooded, with the exception of some outbuildings kind of behind the existing farmhouse as well. And then just flipping here to sheet A2. So this is a proposal for 23 single-family home lots. It is a conservation subdivision, so the lots are about 12,000 square feet, which is smaller than what's allowed in the zone, but we're allowed to condense them because we're providing open space in the subdivision as well. So with this subdivision, we're providing approximately 15 acres of open space, so over half the property will be conserved permanently. And that's something that we've been discussing with the planning board as to how that will be conserved and what kind of amenities will be featured as part of the open space. There are a couple of wetland areas on the property, which I'll point out on C1. There's one very small one right here in the center, and then there are some also very small ones surrounding the perimeter of the property, which are mainly for stormwater drainage. So there's one here and a couple of them over here sort of facing Hampstead Road, and then the largest one is in the rear of the property. Those all have the 40-foot wetland buffer, which we are not disturbing at all as part of this project. The reason why we're here tonight actually is because the subdivision is partially within the Aquifer Protection Zone, which you can see here on the plan. So this front part of the property, which is mostly the existing field, is within the Aquifer Protection Zone. One of the things that one of the planning board members pointed out when we were there last week was that there's some restrictions within the ordinance about de-icing materials that we'll need to add to the plans, and those will become future restrictions within the deeds for the properties. So that'll be added. And then we did also receive comments from your town engineer that we'll be addressing as part of the project, and we'll be coming back before the planning board next month. So we want to come before you just to get any preliminary comments that you might have. Stormwater-wise, I'll flip over to sheet C3, or C4, sorry. We do have two separate stormwater areas on the property. One is toward the rear of the proposed cul-de-sac here in the back, and then the other is toward the front to capture runoff from both the homes as well as the proposed road. And that will be treated and infiltrated in accordance with your standards as well as DES standards, as this will require an alteration of terrain permit with the state as well. And then the other thing to mention is that the lots will all be serviced by municipal sewer and Merrimack Village District water. That is all I have, unless I missed anything that you want to add, and we can answer any questions.
When were you at the planning board?
Last week.
Okay, and you're going to be going before them again?
Yes.
In a couple of weeks, okay.
Yep. Not July, I think it's the July 17th meeting.
Okay.
the mid-July one, not the first week of July.
Okay, thank you. Anything from the commission?
Do you have a landscaping plan?
We do, yes. I will flip over to it. It's sheet L2 in the plan set. So we have proposed plantings along the entrance road, and then we also have a detailed plan of a house footprint and what the plantings will be in front of each of the homes.
I'm assuming you've done some due diligence about native plantings.
Yes, yep, they'll all be native plantings.
Okay.
Yeah, and typically with these ponds, we just do grasses. It used to be that we would do shrubs and other types of plants, but it's been found that grasses are just as effective for stormwater treatment. So that's what we're proposing for those as well.
Okay, is that it?
Well, I didn't get to see this one, so.
Okay.
I'm trying to read these very well. Great if it was touchscreen, so.
It's on that computer, I have to zoom in.
So in the landscape plan, you've got, do you have any references to hay or straw?
I don't believe we do. Are you talking about for like stabilization during
Stabilization,
construction?
we'd like to make sure you always use straw, no hay.
Okay, I don't think we have that noted, but we can make a note of that.
And in line with the planning board, obviously, anything within the aquifer protection zone, we don't allow any phosphates
Okay,
in the fertilizers. So it's always slow release nitrogen and then no phosphates within the buffer zone.
okay.
And you're going to put the snow, de-icing materials, you're going to put that into the deed directly?
Yes, yep.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay.
Are you envisioning this next trip to planning board being your final?
Based on how our last meeting went, I believe so. They didn't have too many concerns that we don't feel we can address by then, so we're hoping to address all of the concerns that they have before the next meeting so that we can hopefully get approval by then. And then that'll be conditioned upon obviously getting state permits and all of that before we submit final plans.
I'll summarize the Q&A and make sure the planning board gets that emailed tomorrow.
That'd be great.
Because I think we see the AOT,
Yes. Yes, we should.
so we'll be able to look at this again. Okay.
So my question is about Japanese holly. It's not listed as invasive in New Hampshire, but it is in a number of other states.
Okay.
If there's another option, but it looks like it maybe isn't a problem this far north.
Okay. We can talk to we worked with a landscape designer on this, so we can
Yeah.
talk to her, and I'm sure she could possibly switch that for something
Okay.
else.
Thank you.
Are we good? Okay, thank you very much. I'll make sure these comments get to the planning board.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next up is 376 DW Car Wash LLC applicant and Startin Realty LLC owner. Review for recommendations to the planning board regarding a site plan to improve an existing car wash, including site layout, landscaping, lighting, signage, and building facade. Improvements to include 12 new vacuum stations, 3 queue lanes, and a bypass drive aisle around the building. The parcel is located at 376 Daniel Webster Highway in the C2 General Commercial, Aquifer Conservation and Elderly Overlay Districts, Tax Map 4D3, Lot 2. And if you could identify yourself for the minutes, we can get started.
Good evening. My name's Jason Lopez from Keach Nordstrom Associates. I'm here tonight representing 376 DW Car Wash LLC, and one of the members, Tony Crawford, is here if there's questions that the commission has of them. I think this is a fairly simple project. This is the existing Patriot Car Wash just south on DW Highway. They're going to go through and clean up the site, reface the building, replace the internal equipment, add additional vacuums. They're going to, realign some of the traffic pattern on the site, provide a bypass lane going around the building. So all site improvements, clean it up. There's no wetlands on the site. Overall, there's going to be a reduction to the impervious area. So roughly about 1,800 square feet. So the existing system is a lot of leaching catch basins out there. It'll maintain the same system. We do have a landscape plan. We're going to bring that, add some additional, just to bring that up to the current standards to meet the criteria and the planning requirements. We do have a note on the plan. I picked up on a gentleman's comment on the last one. We have a note stating low phosphate, slow release of nitrogen fertilizers, and I understand you just said no phosphate, and I'm just wondering.
In the aquifer protection zones.
In the aquifer, okay.
Yeah.
So I can change that note from low to no. And just so the commission understands, the wash water, each car that goes through, it's new water, fresh water. It goes through grit and oil separator. That's connected to the municipal sewer system, and it's discharged there. So.
You anticipated my question.
Yeah. So, with that, I can take more specific questions on the project.
As you heard us say to the previous applicant, I know that a lot of the language on the plan is boilerplate, but there's a mention of, hey, please, for erosion control, we're looking for straw, because we got too many invasives in town already.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just in terms of the chemical storage on site, where does that take place?
It's interior in the building. There's going to be a door over here, unload, and stored inside. Okay. They also have the back area, which is like detailing and stuff now. They'll be able to store surplus. Okay. It's all undercover inside the building.
With secondary containment or?
No.
Very strong with sealed drums.
Okay.
Right. So.
There's no floor drains
I am.
in those areas?
Well, in the car wash
No,
area,
but in the
there is,
storage
in the
areas.
garage bay?
No.
No? Yeah, okay. Not in the storage areas.
What chemicals are stored? Just cleaning?
Yeah, the detergents and waxes and
So it's not going to won't be any maintenance here other than the than the car wash itself?
the car wash, yes.
Anything else from the board or the commission? Okay, I'll put these few comments down and email them to the planning board for you.
I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Snow removal?
Snow removal, we do show on the site plan locations, just around the perimeter of the park. That corner here, this corner back here. The site, I don't know if at Columbia Circle and the land, it's real high up. It all comes, sheets down this way, most of it into the back area. There is limited interior islands for storage, a little bit in this area that we're cutting out around the dumpster. We're going to place the dumpster.
And I saw a note about the Green Snow Pro, thank you.
Yeah.
Cool. Great, thank you.
Okay, anyone else? All right, thank you very
Great.
much.
Thank you for your time.
The next project is 8 Depot Street LLC, applicant owner. Review for recommendations to the planning board regarding a waiver of full site plan review to convert an existing single-family home into a 4-unit multifamily dwelling. The parcel is located at 8 Depot Street in the R4 Aquifer Conservation and Elderly Overlay Districts and the Wellhead Protection Area. Tax map 6E-1, lot 58, tax map 6E-1, lot 58-1. Case Planning Board 2025-21. Welcome.
Good evening. For the record, Sam Foisey with Meridian Land Services, representing 8 Depot Street LLC. To my left is the owner and the applicant, Keith, who is the managing member of 8 Depot Street LLC. As you stated, this is a project to convert a existing large single-family house to a 4-unit multifamily structure. This project has sought and was granted a variance to allow for the density increase from 1 to 4. And as such, we are here seeking a site plan waiver of site plan approval as we work through this process. Generally, with exception to the renovation work that will occur inside the structure, there really is not much work occurring outside the structure. There is the main widening of the driveway for it to function better as a multifamily. Currently, it's a very narrow driveway, and this is widening it to 18 feet to allow for when 2 vehicles are passing, 2 neighbors are passing, they can do so appropriately. Again, adding some additional parking spaces to support the 4 units. We have shown on here 9 parking spaces with 2 inside the garage, bringing the total to 11, where 9 would be required by the regulations. And then that results in a very minor increase of impervious area, which is, I believe, about 1,200 square feet, or to put it in terms that we can all visualize, about the equivalent of 4 parking spaces. So very minor increase of impervious, which is very minor increase of stormwater, which does keep us below the requirements of a stormwater improvement plan or report. That being said, we did propose a kind of collection swale that can help the water get to the catch basin in the front there while we don't anticipate any adverse impacts to the abutting property, this will make sure, if there are any, it is mitigated and it goes into the containment system. The property will continue to be served by the municipal sewer out front, and the appropriate connections or adjustments within the structure will be made internally. With that, I did hear some comments where I'm probably deficient on the plans here, mostly related to snow removal and snow storage, and notes saying no de-icing agent. So I recognize that I'll have to add those to the plans. With that, that's kind of the end of my presentation, given the scale of the project, and we'd love your comments.
Okay. Thank you. Commissioners?
Can you just speak to the strip of land? I'm trying to follow it through on the write-up. I'm trying a little.
Yeah, so if I go to the existing conditions plan, that might, I believe you're talking about the Gore strip. Is that?
Yeah, you got that one strip of land that seems to be, no one really knows who owns it.
We're working on that.
He keeps laughing because we're trying to figure. They think they own it, but
The brief description made it sound like an interesting ownership question.
It's basically a piece of land that was never properly conveyed during the past transactions of the overall parcel. So essentially, with it not being properly conveyed, you have to go through the appropriate title processes to demonstrate that you should have this land in ownership. Without being an attorney, that's about the expert opinion I can give on that statement.
The end goal is for that strip to be part of this parcel.
Yeah.
Correct.
One in whole.
Yes.
It's not going to be used for anything else, just
But the
yard.
variance was based on the project without that strip, but we want to obviously add it on.
Okay.
And there's no actual anything going on, it would just be more grass and shrubs?
Yes.
Just what it is now.
And so it's not no icing this thing, but you can use some of the, like the Green Snow Pro, who are trained to put down,
The appropriate application.
in these kind of areas that are sensitive areas. So
Yeah, we've done that on several other
Yeah.
projects, so it's not a problem to put that on here.
When are you going back to the planning board?
We actually have not been before them, but we'll be at them. I don't know the specific date, but I believe it's the next scheduled planning board
July
meeting.
1st, I think.
Okay.
So and can you just, where's the swale going? How is it going to work?
So this is, the site's pretty much flat.
Yeah.
So and it generally slopes in this direction here. So this swale will start over here and then collect it and convey it to an existing catch basin that's located in the right of way.
Okay.
It's basically like a 6-inch swale. You could hardly call it a swale. It's more of a depression with positive flow to the catch basin.
And your intent for the garage is for people to use it as a garage?
Yep.
Yep.
There's no storage of?
There's no commercial?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, anything else? All right, thank you very much, and
Well,
we'll let
thank
the
you.
planning board know you were here.
Thank you.
And make note of our comments.
We appreciate your time.
Okay, the next item. Review of Shoreland Water Quality Protection Act permit application from Sean Demers and Amanda Walsh. The proposal intends to raise the pre-existing non-conforming primary structure and construct a more nearly conforming structure. Proposed parcel improvements include the installation of stormwater management techniques and reduction in impervious area. Scope of work was previously permitted under New Hampshire DES, file number 2023-01378. A new permit is required due to the increase in impervious area associated with the updated, proposed more nearly conforming primary structure. Parcel is located at 2 North Jeb Road, tax map 6A-2, lot 172. We have no one here to speak to it. Have the commissioners looked at the permit application and have any comments?
I have not looked at the permit application.
Okay.
I looked at them, but I didn't.
So I had a minor question about the more nearly conforming.
Mhm.
So I assume it will not be completely conforming.
I had that question too. The wording was a little unusual.
It seemed very specific.
If you'll excuse me, I'm going to go see if the copy we have has a cover letter for it. Thank you. Okay. Okay, that's the car wash. That's good. And that is Demers and Walsh. Okay, this repeats what's already on our agenda. New permit is required due to the increase in impervious area associated with the updated, more nearly conforming primary structure.
But no
Okay.
plan.
Let's see.
Oh, there you go.
We have a map here from Nashville Regional Planning Commission as part of this. And Jeb Road, that is Babusick. Yeah, so this is on Babusick Lake. And it is, in an area where structures are very close together. And without hearing from the owners, I am not sure what direction to take, although there is a photograph in here. The pre-existing hardscaped bank was replaced by unpermitted riprap along the bank, which affects how the water flows off, and so unpermitted tells me that they're trying to address that, which is a good thing. That much I can say.
They're going to try to make that more nearly conforming.
Yeah.
So the non-conforming pieces, I assume, would be handled by the planning commission or the zoning board?
Or DES.
Or DES, yes.
Shoreland things.
One of my general questions would be the demolition of the existing structure. Do we have rules and requirements in place for managing
DES.
DES? All right.
Yeah. Can I see that package when you get
Oh,
it?
sure. There you go. There. So did I hear an answer about, do we have rules about demolition of the existing structure? Would that go to DES?
DES
Is that what I
does,
heard?
yes.
Okay.
Where did you say it goes to?
Department of Environmental Services.
Okay.
So NHDES.
Ellen, and it's been a while since we've talked about one of these, but I think generally we've operated under the assumption, right, that they've worked with DES.
Yes.
DES has coached on this.
Yes.
DES considers, even though there's more impervious space here, that it is a better, more environmentally friendly approach to
As we
to
have
use
seen
the
with
land.
other properties in this area, anything that upgrades septic, anything that upgrades flow into the lake is an improvement.
Improvement. So these are similar to the dredge and fill permits where DES it has partnered with them, yes.
Okay. So, with your permission, I'm going to go ahead and read out the title of the next item, which is very similar. It is a review of a shoreland permit application from Robert C. Havner. The proposal is for the construction of a two-bedroom house with associated PRVIOUS stone driveway, previous or pervious?
Pervious.
Pervious stone driveway, and includes the installation of a septic system to service an existing home on Amherst Map 24, Lot 63. The parcel is located at 36 Greenwood Road, Tax Map 6A-1, Lot 95. That one, we've got the car wash, but we do not have the application. Yeah, again, I'm gonna go check.
That one might have been, no, I just looked at this one. So whoever picked up the permanent copies. Is it possibly in front of you, Steve?
I do not have it in hand, but you were looking at it before the meeting?
Yeah, it was on that pile of documents.
Go ahead,
Probably, that's,
It
that
mentioned.
one right
That's
there.
the drainage. It's the car wash. That's all car wash.
It mentioned invasive, or native species that are known in that area, and it had a map.
Yeah,
of
that's
them.
this shoreline. That's the one that that's,
That Jeb Road was before, and this one's Greenwood Road.
no. This is
These
Greenwood.
might
No,
be
this is
the
Greenwood.
related ones.
Okay,
This is Greenwood.
okay.
Is it possible these two properties are the ones right next to each other?
They're both near Pabusick,
Yeah.
so. that's-
Okay,
So they're
because
both
one of
very
them,
confused.
it was, the septic was gonna be for two properties, but it said that the septic was a separate application, so these
Right.
two.
Was there part of the property was in Amherst, is that, did I
That
read
would-
Yeah,
it
so
correctly?
Yeah.
I've been looking at the map.
Yeah.
This house is directly on the border of Amherst, which owns a small sliver along that road. And there seem to be 2 or 3 houses right next to it on the Amherst side of the line. So I guess they're building a septic tank for them.
Oh, that's fun.
Yes, if our approval is what
And-
it takes to move that process along.
And Jeb Road is nearby, but it's sort of up at the other end of the lake.
Are there any concerns with, like, I don't know, would there be any concerns with Blanding's turtle?
I would need to look at the application in detail.
They are there,
Yeah.
so.
Like, they probably walk right through that, like, because the house is like right between the lake and, or the property's like right between the lake and a spot where the Blanding's turtle was literally reported seen.
Mhm.
So would this affect the turtles?
I would imagine you're gonna see Blanding's turtles on almost all the shoreline over there.
Yeah.
That would be something DES would look at, too. That's
Okay.
part of something they
Okay.
consider in the shoreland.
Yeah, so we try to make sure that we're, outside of nesting season, do your
Okay.
work.
Right.
Because then you can see them typically. and
Post-August.
They're pretty shy. They try to get away from you, and they don't like people.
All right, now, there's no vote we need to take on this. We've taken a look at we've been advised that there is an application. Both of these are for properties around Babusick Lake, and that's what we need to do. All right. Move on to discussion and possible action regarding other items of concern. Ongoing discussion regarding potential education opportunities. Karis.
We need to go back to the creation of a subcommittee.
Creation of a subcommittee to address invasives.
Okay, so, and I got a lot of funny looks when y'all saw that. This is a proposal or a request to discuss. The Conservation Commission owns multiple properties that do not fall under a subcommittee. Whether they are just small parcels around town or whatnot. Some of them may contain invasives that we could be managing. In addition, the topic of invasive species is itself a lot of work. Managing invasive species, educating about invasive species, keeping an eye on those small parcels and properties. So I'm proposing that we look into creating a subcommittee to manage those small pieces and parcels, which might be less subcommittee to address invasive species and more a subcommittee.
A sweep subcommittee for properties that aren't.
Right, and with the understanding that that may well be one of their primary jobs, given there aren't going to be a lot of trails on these small pieces of properties to manage.
Now, most of the commissioners here know more than I do about some of our smaller parcels. I'd love to hear your comments on what you think of the, what would a subcommittee do in there? I've heard you talk about the Mitchell and Watson parcels. Those are things, I have never been to them.
We have some
But you're
very
familiar
small
with them.
parcels too, just like,
Well, I live next to one of those parcels, 18 Woodward Road. I will say it's clear of invasives. It actually has some trail capacity in there. A couple of the homeowners nearby kind of maintain a little footpath to get through it. But there are, I think, 11 of those parcels scattered about town elsewhere.
yeah. I went and took a look on one of them when I was looking into documentation we had on SCLAR, there was one listed as SCLAR.
That's
That
a
was-
different one, in a different part of town.
Yes.
I found that out when I was looking things up when I
Yes,
joined
and
the
I
commission.
went and took a look at it, and the part that I could access without, having to cross anybody's, any private property was, it was clearly utilized by local people, to walk along it. There were some invasives that could be removed. I didn't see any knotweed, but I know that down the road there was clear knotweed in people's property. So that could be something like they could keep an eye out. I don't know about any other properties besides those.
So do we
I'm
have
sure there are.
a formal process for dealing with knotweed, which is extremely difficult to deal with?
Not at this time, no. I mean, that's another, you haven't been at the last few meetings, right?
I missed the last meeting.
It's on my to-do list to find the invoice from when we last paid a company to deal with knotweed, look into the cost of knotweed, and I added to that for myself, look into possible grants or funds available to us to help pay for it if it is going to be extremely expensive. So it's,
Invasives is not a one and done.
no,
It's
it's a constant thing.
It's a process. and you have
Especially
to-
knotweed.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
have it, and you have to stick with it and budget it.
Yep.
Because it's gonna be there forever.
Yep.
The concept of having a group of people who are maybe a little bit better versed on this and available to go look at different parcels and help the subcommittees, help us, what a perfect opportunity for work days.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's the small parcels that we just don't get to that often. I mean, even the easements too. I don't, what's the parcels, we're saying parcels, but the easements that we're under our management. You go look at, along, what the hell's the name of that street? We had other problems that we went and sprayed the first time. It's full bloom again.
Yeah.
Would we need to have, like, all of the areas that there's a liaison to everyone, you're the liaison for Greater Woods, et cetera. Would we need to have somebody take that role first and then let that person sort of like figure out like who's available in town to serve on the committee, on the subcommittee? I don't know how you create a subcommittee. I've never.
Yeah, I mean, it would be, it's pretty much at our discretion. You're gonna have a subcommittee. It's typically, we set them up based on land.
Yeah.
But our subcommittee bylaws are all, for all the parcels, are fairly consistent. This would just be, there'd be no designated parcel. It'd just be subcommittee, the layout of the subcommittee, and then we'd have to come up with something that's a better charge, because right now it's all for the stewardship of the property, which is still the same concept.
Yeah.
But it would be more of a support role, because they're gonna be
documenting what's on the property.
Yeah, they're gonna be looking at more little pieces.
Oh, yeah, and that's another thing, right? It'd be great if there was a subcommittee to, go around and document
Be
the maps.
eyes and ears on the
Yeah.
properties.
Great, so we
So
can
I'm
find
hearing
some
a lot of
gardeners.
positive.
Great.
I guess my question was, how do we put this in motion? Like, what needs to happen for this to begin to exist?
Make a motion.
Make a motion.
I make a motion to create.
Well, okay.
Come on, Gage, you
We
make
could
the motion.
we could do it now, but I mean,
Yeah.
do we want to spend some time trying to ID the parcels,
It starts with drafting a charter or
drafting
charge.
a charter and
Okay.
making sure
Yeah.
that we have some focus? 'Cause
Which
it's
you couldn't just take the Greater Woods Subcommittee
Right.
charter.
Right.
This is a little outside the box.
Yeah.
So
I
who-
question it may be a recruitment challenge, because I think most of the people that have joined the existing subcommittees have a particular affinity
Yeah.
for that
Right.
parcel.
That's the thing, we're looking for some gardeners or something that,
I mean, I
Yeah.
can throw out a call on Facebook. Maybe the library is willing to put up a sign saying, hey, the Conservation Commission is looking for people interested in.
If we can get a critical mass of volunteers who
Exactly,
aren't
yeah.
tied to a particular property but want to address this, that would,
Yeah,
I'd love to get an idea of.
Whenever I
that.
make Facebook posts about an invasive species, it gets a lot of attention. So there may well be people who are very interested in this.
Do you have contact information for the people that came to the talk at the library? Because maybe you could.
I have contact information for one of them.
I've got
That's
one
it.
too, she's,
Because she
wants to
lives
be
down
with
the
Horse
street.
Hill. Yeah.
'Cause that's one of your first obstacles, right, is you gotta figure out how much interest there is, and then
Yeah.
decide how big do you want this subcommittee? Because I
Okay.
think generally speaking, the rule is one more than half of that number becomes the quorum.
right.
So if you're,
Right.
yeah, if we create one that's too big, they'll never be able to meet.
Me. Yeah. So what, give me a to-do list, those of you who have been around when you created subcommittees, what needs to be done?
I think that's kind of your ad right there, is, we're investigating the creation of a subcommittee. We're looking to find a group of people that want to take on, reviewing and assessing invasive species on our properties.
Yeah, assess the smaller properties that
Yeah.
don't get as much love as the big ones.
Yeah. I mean, Watson Park is, to me, the epitome. We know there's a huge invasive burning bush. And everyone, every time we bring people down, they're like, oh yeah, that's a lot. And they turn around, it's like, okay, what do we do?
So how do you, once you have a group of volunteers interested, how do you draft the charter and move forward with that?
I don't think we have to wait for volunteers. I just think
Okay.
that we can draft the charter now.
Okay.
I don't think we should say, yes, we want to do a subcommittee and then
If we
draft the
don't
charter.
have-
I'd rather draft the charter and make sure we get it what we
Okay.
want and then do it. And then this is what,
Okay.
that subcommittee can be
So-
made and populated.
Can we put on the agenda 2 meetings from now? I will not be at the next meeting. 2 meetings from now to reassess reassess this situation and see if we can move forward with drafting a charter.
We can get a copy of the charter from community development, copy of our basic charter and use it as a template, so to speak.
So that would be July 21st?
I think so. That sounds right.
It's the 4th, sorry, 2nd and 4th, the 28th.
So,
And I know Stephanie at ComDev is going to see the minutes, but I'll shoot her an email tomorrow too, saying, look out for this. We want to make sure it's on the agenda for that date.
yeah, I won't be here the 28th. So excited.
That's halfway
Now,
to
Karis,
Alaska.
when you're finished addressing this one, I wonder if this flows right into another item we have, which is Watkins Forest update, but I'll wait for you to finish the one.
No, that's
They
okay.
they all seem to be connected.
I think that I'm good. We're good on this one.
Okay. Let's see. Who brought up Watkins Forest update?
I did. Do you want to go over the educational stuff first, or do you want me to jump into that?
Let's go now, since we
Okay.
mentioned that.
Okay, so the Watkins Forest Harvest Committee had the first meeting a couple of weeks ago. We reviewed the will and the stipulations that were in it. They're very specific. And we signed the documents to enter into the contract with the forester. So next step is having the forester come, do the actual plan, mark trees that are going to be cut, mark the trees that are going to stay, all of that. We did discuss maybe doing a public site walk when he's here so that residents can understand it more, since it was a lot of questions brought up during the voting process on it, or possibly Merrimack TV doing a short segment on it just to share that and kind of have a history of it. There is no sort of guidelines or binder on this from the last time it was done, so we're going to establish something so that there's a history of it for future harvests, because this only happens every 20 or so years, so it would be helpful to have that information available. So what I need tonight is a vote to approve the access through Mitchell Woods for the harvest. Just from us as a committee to say, yeah, we're allowing access through Mitchell Woods.
I don't believe we've ever voted on that before.
It's been 20 years.
Yeah, I was here when we did
Were
the
you?
Alaska.
Yeah.
I don't think we voted on that. We just said we wanted to make sure we tried to cut them both at the same time.
Right.
If we're not crossing anybody's property, why would we need to?
Yeah, we're crossing our property.
Yeah, we're gonna give ourselves permission to go on our own property?
Well, no.
You're giving the Watkins Forest Committee.
Forest.
Yeah,
Okay,
permission.
okay.
They've got, to get to Watkins Forest, you gotta go across Mitchell.
Yeah,
Yeah, I realize that.
Yeah, so we're saying, yes, go across Mitchell and
yeah.
So I guess I'll ask the question, what is involved with getting access? Are we talking small trucks, big trucks, huge
I'm
land
sure
clearing trucks?
I don't think it's land.
Well,
clearing, but it's gonna be like
logging.
logging.
I've
trucks.
seen commercial logging,
Are
even
they-
small
are they gonna-
commercial
Are they
logging.
gonna use that same landing spot?
Yes.
And is that considered, boy, is that Mitchell or Watkins?
It sounded like it was, to me, it was on Watkins, but I'm not positive.
That stone wall kinda ends, I wonder.
So what I'm hearing is we're going to look for a motion to authorize access as needed to Watkins Forest for
Yes.
purposes of
Of the harvest.
Of the harvest.
Yeah.
Would anybody care to so move?
Okay,
Do you want me to vote for Eric?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Steve. Yes, would you please?
Yes, I will.
Thank you, I've been saying.
Here.
Yeah, I
I'll-
can make the motion for that, or I'll say so moved, and then if
Yeah,
somebody
go
wants to
ahead.
second.
if you
Second.
want, all right, if you want to make the motion,
So go ahead and make the motion.
I just said so moved.
Oh.
Just followed Alan's.
I'll
So
second.
we're gonna use Ellen's.
The word salad.
Okay.
Do you want me to restate it?
Okay.
Okay, what I was suggesting is that we move to authorize access through the Mitchell property to Watkins Forest for the purpose of the harvest.
So moved.
All in favor? All opposed? None, 700.
Seeing that you're the conduit for this, can we make a motion for you to be the agent on our behalf to get them to cut Mitchell while they're there?
If you think that's necessary, I did talk to Steve because he had contacted the Eric Radloff initially, and just to try to
Yep.
narrow it down so it wasn't confusing that he had multiple points of contact, that I would reach out to him about how do we set it up so that, it sounds like from the town side, we need to keep it separate, but we can do it at the same time. So I'm assuming that means a contract for the commission that's separate for that parcel, even though it's small.
And the town would bring that forward if it were necessary, correct? We'd find it in our packets or something. That's not something we would pursue, or would that be given to us?
I think
Yeah,
we
we'd
would
have to
pursue
pursue
it,
it.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's why I want to initially talk to him, find out how does he envision it working. A discussion for us, I guess, is if there are, I mean, he has to evaluate it first, right? And let us know, what does he see? Does he think it's, time to cut some trees? That money would need to be kept separate, so we'd have to figure out some way of saying, these are the Conservation Commission trees to be sold.
The trustees of the trust fund operates that on behalf of the school, right?
Right, for the Watkins, but for the Mitchell property.
Right, so we could be good neighbors and donate our wood to the school.
Yep, that's a question I had, if you wanted to do that, or if you wanted it to
Because it's,
benefit the site.
yeah, I mean, I suppose we should go get it assessed first. and
Yeah,
find out what we're talking
keep
about,
us
but-
posted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did the trustees of the trust fund, or did the town procurement, did they put this issue in, request for bids on this? Did they have to go that path?
I'm not sure. That started with the trustees of the trust funds. They have it kind of on a schedule of, they bring a forester in, walk it, say, is it time yet? No. So this was
Yeah.
the time when they said, yes, it's time to do this. So I'm
Huh.
not sure the process that it originated.
'Cause it makes sense if they're gonna issue, put it out to bid, to put both of them out at the same time.
Yeah.
We wouldn't prepare that bid, I wouldn't think so. If procurement's already doing one for the
If
town.
they've already prepared a bid, then our bid's gonna be pretty much the same,
Mhm.
because they're not really doing anything on that property. No, it's not, there's trails and stuff on it, but there's not really, it's not,
Managed.
there's no parking, it's very limited.
And there are just different approaches too,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
mean, the scope of service, if we want to replace this road, it's easy to put that out to bid.
Yeah.
It's X number of square feet or miles or whatever. This, different foresters would have different solutions.
That's a good point, because I don't think the trustees of the trust funds necessarily have to put something out to bid like the town does, because it's separate, but we do. So, because there is money that has to be paid to the forester for his services, but then, of course, you get money back from the trees, so that's a good point for me to check on. So do you want to make it, do you think it needs to be made official for me to reach out to him, or is everybody okay with this?
I think it's fine.
Okay.
You're already doing it, so.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that.
What else did I have to say on that?
I want to just bring up one quick thing, though. I'm a little hesitant to say we should have a public walk in there.
Okay,
There's a lot of deer, there's a ton of ticks.
okay.
There's a lot. When you walk back there, you've got them on you. So just,
That's good concern.
I want to.
I can bring that back to the committee. And the other thing which I shared with you before was that they identified some invasives on the Mitchell parcel. So I need to ask him which invasives they are so we can decide.
As long as he's got sharp, pointy things, can he get rid of them for
Yeah,
us?
I'm not sure. It sounded like I'm not sure if that's something he can handle or if it's something that he's going to say we need to take care of.
If he can
so-
identify them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he'd certainly be probably a good resource for someone that we could get
we could-
to go deal with it.
do that.
Oh, yes.
I think that's everything I had
How
on,
you
on
get
that. I
in
do have a
there.
couple other updates if you want me to, on other topics.
Sure.
Do you want me to do those now? At the last town council meeting, we approved a tick study in Horse Hill. So there's an assistant professor from Rivier University who is doing a study on ticks and Lyme disease. And she's going to have a couple of students come and they're going to sample ticks in Horse Hill and do a whole study. The date was not set in stone because she had submitted for a grant, so she was waiting for that money to come through first before she does that. But it's not invasive. They basically drag some cloth through to gather some ticks, and
That won't take long.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So just to let you guys know, that's happening.
Do it in the backyard.
On our next agenda for this Thursday is, we're going to discuss the acceptance of the Sklar Trail cameras that this commission approved last time. And at our last meeting, Andrew was appointed to the Sauhegan River Advisory Committee, so congratulations.
Yes, that has officially come through. Unfortunately, I was unable to make their first meeting, which was a few days ago.
Does the donator need to be at that meeting?
No, I think I
Okay.
can, I mean, anybody's welcome to come and speak to it if you want to, but I think
Okay.
I can speak to it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Is that it for town council updates?
That is.
Okay, that brings us to ongoing discussion regarding potential education opportunities. Karis?
My dearest Gage, I have have yet to hear from this person. Any other educational? We, just a reminder that we have in September another educational event, the composting event.
And remind me, is that a presentation?
From the New Hampshire Extension.
Thank you.
No other updates at this time that I recall, unless anyone has a question for me.
Do you have a date and time for the compost event? I don't want to miss it. It's not a big deal. You can email it to me.
I handed everybody flyers.
Okay, I've got it then.
Okay.
All right, I got it. I'll take care of it. Thank you.
Okay, is that it for now?
Yes, that's
Okay.
it.
The next thing is the approval of minutes from the June 9th Conservation Commission meeting. I will not vote on this, I was not at the meeting, and I will entertain a motion regarding the minutes.
Oh, in the site walk minutes, right?
Yeah, we'll do that after,
Okay.
after this one.
I'll move that we approve the June 9th minutes as amended.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, I'll start with a couple, even though I was not at the meeting. On line 162, any disturbed areas would be reseeded with conservation mix and left to naturalize, not led to naturalize, unless someone is planning on staying there and teaching them how. On line 197, Chair Starr then asked if Mr. Petropoulos could show instead of should the pipes. And those were my two.
I have one on page 8. At the bottom, under updates, the second paragraph, it says, she shared that they voted to approve funds from Fields Farm Plan. That should be, I'm not sure how to restate it, but that wasn't a town council vote. That was the Conservation Commission voted the meeting before to, with the stipulation that before the contract was signed, that the purchasing policy would be checked.
Okay. Page 8.
Yes. Yep.
At the very bottom.
Oh, I have not so much a correction as a clarification in, on page 8, talking about the upcoming annual meeting. I had discussed with Chairman Eric Starr about continuing to serve as vice chair. That will be up to the commission at the next annual meeting, but I am able to continue in that capacity. I will not be, I will miss some meetings, but I'm open to serving in that capacity if the commission desires.
Is that the next meeting, is the annual meeting, or
Yeah.
one after that?
I think
Yes, it
It
is.
should be the next
the
meeting.
next one, okay.
14th. Yeah, that's the next meeting.
July is here. How did that happen? Okay, any further amendments? All right, all in favor of approving the minutes as amended?
Oh,
3, 4,
sorry.
5, 6? Okay.
Abstain.
Abstain, okay.
Who seconded
5-0-2 with Andrew and I abstaining.
Who seconded it?
Jen.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
And that brings us to the approval of minutes for the site walk on June 16th at the corner of DW Highway and Mast Road.
I'll move that we approve the minutes for the June 16th site walk as amended.
Second?
I
Okay.
have nothing to
I
add.
got nothing to add. All right, all in favor of approving those minutes, signify by saying aye or raising your hand. Opposed?
Abstain.
Abstain. Okay, so 6-0-1.
But I do have a quick question for those who attended. Did you find the site walk informative and useful?
Yes.
I did.
So,
I had
what-
never seen that parcel before, and getting a look at it was interesting because it is so near conservation land that was owned by the town.
Mhm.
You know, the town properties, small houses that I did not know were owned by the same outfit that's going to develop.
And my car mechanic.
So that was a help
I'm
to me.
thinking of having my own private site walk once the weather gets below 100 degrees.
I forgot something. So they are hoping to come back to us at the next meeting. Correct me if I'm wrong, by that point, we should have some suggested
Who's they?
The
Oh,
developers.
oh,
the
oh, okay,
developers.
yeah, mitigation, okay. Yep.
Suggested mitigation projects, right?
Well, they have not formally presented a site plan.
Okay.
So at this point, I
Okay.
don't know if we are in a formal position to recommend, but I
Okay.
will defer to anyone who's more familiar with the process than I
Their-
am.
Yes, their site plan is going to give them a value,
Okay.
you know, and that's what the ARM fund is gonna come up with, assessed value, so to
Okay.
speak. But that's not stopping us at all from having a list of,
Making comments and.
we can have a list of projects, and we can know what their value is, and here, it is.
Yeah.
Or you can do half this one, and we come up from the, I mean, there's,
Okay. Got it. So we're waiting for that number and then we can.
No, we don't,
Or
we
we're
don't
not
have to.
waiting for that
No,
number.
we don't have to. We need to
Okay.
have projects ready.
Okay, in that case,
Yeah, we need to have ARM, certified, or not certified, something that would be approved by ARM
Yeah.
project and ready to go.
Were
And
you
give
gonna-
them, and just a list.
Were you gonna reach out to GZA?
I can,
I can if you want. I think I'd have to get the lady's name.
I
You've got it?
have her.
Okay.
so are we still allowed to discuss this at this meeting to come up with a list, or do we need to?
I mean, it's not agended, but
No, yeah, but we're not making decisions, right?
no.
Okay.
Is there like a list of criteria for what, to identify
Yeah,
what you
aquatic
want?
resource mitigation, so you're looking streams and waters, wetlands.
So one project idea that I had was, actually kind of two, is, we could propose that they help with, knotweed mitigation around wetlands and restoration of those areas. Or general, if we had specific wetland areas that need restoring. Watson Park is definitely one of those areas.
So you're saying not where they're gonna be doing their project, but
Yes, if they have any, if they take any wetlands for
Right.
the project, they would need to mitigate that
Right, yeah.
elsewhere, so, yeah.
Elsewhere.
So you're
Yeah.
talking
So not
about.
on
Okay,
the
yeah.
site, not on site.
Off-site,
correct.
okay.
Off-site.
Yeah, if we get a couple projects together, we can probably have a professional come down and walk them real quick and be like, yeah, this would work, this wouldn't, this would work, this wouldn't.
Okay, so.
We've done that in the past.
Do we need professionals to come by before we propose it to them?
Oh, I would
On
think
their
that
pro-
would be best.
Okay,
If we had, well, because I mean, we don't want to propose something and
No,
and have,
right.
and have ARM be like, no, that's not going to qualify.
okay, so tell me what needs to be done.
Well, do you have, yeah, if you have some places that you'd like to walk, we can do that.
Okay, I would
can-
love if
set.
DPW was interested in Parks and Rec, the area around Watson Park, if they were on board with that. It's public land, it's not conservation land,
Sure.
but it is in desperate need of
Control. Okay.
control, restoration.
That's, Watson Park's
Something I
tricky.
didn't know is that,
Isn't that a capped site?
yes.
It is.
But
Yeah, so it's going to be tricky.
you can't
You can't dig.
take anything out. Well, you can't take soil out. I'm not sure about
And you have to-
knotweed.
Yeah, you just have to be very careful about how deep you pull, dig, move soil.
Yes. But if we don't do it, if something isn't done, the area where the knotweed is going to erode away. All the soil where the knotweed
Yeah, I
is.
mean, we could certainly have it looked at.
Okay. In the end, you would need DES to verify that that was acceptable
I would think so.
and make a proposal and work with them, but,
Doesn't DES run the ARM fund?
yeah.
I think they administer.
So they would be.
They do it anyways.
Yeah, they'd be doing it anyways, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I dare say the Sauhegan Local Advisory Committee would probably be advised of this as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do we ask to do a walk and how?
Just
To take a look.
We have access to UNH, Cooperative Extension.
Okay.
Their extension directors come, that's what their job is to come out and support community. So we can go through them, or we can go through a private organization.
And
How do
as for
we-
permission to look at the property, that's just, we could inform Parks and Rec as a courtesy, but I don't think we need formal permission.
Yeah, it's a public
Yeah.
property.
But give them, give Matt a heads up.
Yeah, yeah. So contact who through UNH?
The extension?
The extension,
Just generally, okay.
Yeah.
And request that they do what exactly? How would I phrase that? Just describe
Yeah, I mean,
what we're
you're-
hoping.
You're looking to, we're looking at an ARM project, we want to see if there's something like this would qualify.
I'm really happy my in-laws are staying one more day because I think I'm gonna shove the kids on them and work on this tomorrow. So, I don't just, like, we don't need Parks and Rec's permission for anyone to go do a site walk there, it's public property, but.
As a
if-
courtesy, be sure to.
Yes, I
advise.
absolutely will. If we want the project done, though,
That
I
would be-
assume.
That will behave.
Yeah, because we'd probably would entail spraying.
Yes,
So that means that you would have to secure that area and make sure no one can get in there. We're gonna have to notify all the local beekeepers.
so, but also, like, we don't have permission to
Right.
let that happen without,
Right,
so like, do we need?
And also the heads up would be useful in case somehow they're already researching how to do this because they see the need.
They're not.
Yeah.
I doubt they're that
But
forward-looking about
do the
things, but
courtesy.
you never know.
Yeah.
do we have any other places, any other areas that we know are problematic that we want to look at?
So, I will say in general, along Babusick Brook,
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that is property that we have control of. I don't know is the ARM fund only allowed to be used for public land, or can it be a project that private landowners can buy into, so to speak?
I don't know enough to say.
Okay.
So I have maps and property locations of pretty much everything abutting Babusick Brook. If you had a couple of particular areas, I can look them up.
In terms of,
Whether we own them, the town owns them, or a private person owns them.
so right along Bedford Road, I know that one side of the road is not, I know that it's privately owned.
Yes.
By the condominiums.
Mm-hmm.
Condominiums? No. I'm
Yes.
sorry. Is it condos? Yeah.
Yeah, townhouses.
Yeah, townhouses. The other side, I think, might be town-owned.
There is
But I-
one parcel there that is town-owned. There are a couple of parcels that are community set aside for the townhouse developments.
Right, I know about those. But
common-
basically,
common
that
space.
whole
Common
area
space.
is knotweed as far as you can see. And, I mean, there's an easy argument made for if they want to cooperate, it would benefit the entire town because the knotweed falls into the river and it just
That's what I'm saying, so
transports.
if we have areas that we know about, best thing to do would be on a map, is locate them on a map, and then we can give them to whomever and say, you know, is this gonna
Can anyone
qualify?
take a kayak down the Babusick and just map it all?
It's mostly not kayakable. I've tried.
Darn.
And are we limiting this to knotweed, or are we considering
No,
other invasives?
invasives.
Because there are some chunks along Babusick and in Wildcat that have kudzu,
Yeah.
significant kudzu.
I really wish that I had time to just go down and map everything, but like it's private property, I can't walk down the middle of Babusick Brook. How do we do that?
You can walk down the middle of Babusick Brook.
Can I physically walk down the
Sure.
middle? You wanna go with me, Gage?
Not tonight.
Bring your water wings.
Yes.
I can help with that. I do have extensive maps of that because some of them were on our list of properties that we might be interested in. They were on the GZA top 20 list, and I've done
Okay.
research and
So maybe we can
information on
talk
that.
after this.
Yeah, I also happen to live
Yeah.
basically on Babusick Brook.
So, anyone, how long is Babusick Brook? Just how many miles is that? How long, how many miles?
It's actually quite long.
It's got a lot of twists and turns.
Yeah, I will look into if ARM funds can be utilized on private property for projects that are benefiting the whole town. Who do I ask that? DES? Just look up ARM fund and find who to contact?
Probably the best way to go.
Okay.
Okay, anything else along these lines? I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor? 7:00. Meeting adjourned at 7:39 PM.